Hello everyone, welcome to another episode with me Shashank Udupa, and in today's episode I'm going to keep it very quick. I'm going to teach you guys how I find good fundamental stocks. Now see, we've understood how to understand what fundamental stocks are. We know that okay, we need to look at the revenues, we need to look at the profit and loss statement, we need to look at all of these other things. How are the companies growing, is the sector trending, is the world in a good place? All of these things we understand how to do, right? Most of us understand how to do, but how to find these stocks before it even starts going up? Right? That is a big issue. How to find them before they actually activate their potential and reach that 20-25% gains. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I find these stocks. But it's not an easy process. Obviously there's a lot of step-by-step process to finding good stocks. After filtering maybe 100 stocks, you maybe come down to one or two stocks. So today I'm going to tell you my exact step-by-step process of how I find these good stocks. So let's begin. Now, the first thing that I do is you need to go to screener. Okay, you need to open any kind of screener that you use and put down some variables. Now, what are these put down some variables? So every company, to find whether they're good or bad, you know that there are some parameters that they have to follow. For example, I want the sales to grow every year by 10%. I want the earnings per share to keep growing because that's when a good company is going. I want the operating profit margin to obviously be continuously growing as well, and even a good operating profit margin is required. I don't want the company to have a lot of loan. So you know all this, but how do you apply this to a universe of stocks that are there? So that is something we're going to do. So what we're going to do is go to screens first. Okay, create a new screen. Now here I'm going to copy paste something and you just keep an eye out on this. I'll explain what this is exactly as well, right? Now look at what I'm copy pasting. So the first thing that I'm copy pasting is that the market cap of all the companies that I want to search is greater than 500 crores. That means I don't want companies below 500 crores. I want companies above 500 crores. Now this you can change from 500 to 1000, 10,000, 20,000 up to you, right? Depending on the filter you want. I am saying that I want the operating profit margin to be minimum 15%. Right? That means I want companies that are already figured out good structures and their operating profit margin is 15%, which is great. Okay, usually 7 to 8 to 9 to 10% is what other people operated. I want 15%. I want the sales growth in the last 3 years to be greater than 10%. This tells me that in the last 3 years, the sales has constantly been growing for 10% and upwards. The debt to equity ratio should be less than 1.5. That means I want the debt to equity ratio to be slightly lower. You can adjust this to even 1 if you want, but it concises the thing. I want to keep it open because there will be a lot of companies who are also repaying their debt. Now that is a research me and you have to do, right? Return on assets and return on capital employed, two very important things. Actually not return on assets, let's keep it return on equity, right? Return on equity and return on capital employed, I want 15% each, minimum 15%. Below that मैं बात भी नहीं करने वाला, right? So these two again very important. Now I want the sales of this year to be greater than the sales of last year, right? So obviously because I want the sales to constantly keep growing, I want the EPS of this year to be greater than the EPS of last year. Very simple screen. Okay, let's see what this brings out when I do run this query. Now when I do this, it has showed me 73 results. Okay, now you'll be like, Shashank, 73 results बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं हुआ? I'm like, yeah, 100% ज़्यादा नहीं हुआ, right? बहुत 73 results is a lot. And there are like what more, I'm checking 50 pages per thing. But what we can do is currently we can do two things, right? One, let's filter according to market cap, right? Automatically Ulta will do. Now I have a limit of, so these are all the limits that you can see, and there are some very good companies here as well, right? So if I want some safe plays or safe bets, I start opening all these companies and going through it. And if you look at the safe bets that I've seen, there is Divis Labs that's very safe right now with a very high market cap. SRF is also very safe. Look at this. My Varun Beverages is also here, which is my next big bet for the next year. Astral Pipes are also here. Pi Industries are here. Deepak Nitrite is here. Sumitomo Chemical, something we recently spoke about, also there in our small case, is also here. And Clean Science is also a very good company that's also here. So you see, the first 10-15 companies are the safer side of things because they're fulfilling all the demands. But now if you know that Deepak Nitrite has come in this screener, okay, so and Deepak Nitrite is trading at 30,000 crore market cap. That means the companies that are trading at lower market cap have the same potential as Deepak Nitrite. They're giving the same parameters, right? That means we need to understand this. So let's go downwards, right? So what I'll do is I'll just do reverse market cap Ulta and go from 500. Now, also understand when you do smaller market cap companies, very difficult to find trend because sometimes they'll suddenly have a massive sales spike and it won't be consistent and that will become an issue. But we need to find consistent compounders. So we will keep finding consistent compounders over here, right? Now look at this. There's a company called Sahyadri, Avantel, Raghav, Likita, Gujarat Themis. Our RACL Geartech is here. Okay, so this is one good company. Anthony Waste that recently came out. So all of these companies are there in the lower end here. NGL, Finechem, Pix Transmission, all of these we've picked out. Now again, the question comes here is, Shashank, look at this. There are so many companies. There's Moltech Packet, there's Tips, there's Amrutanjan Healthcare. But see how all the good ones are coming out automatically. The good ones that are passing all these screeners are automatically coming out, right? Prince Pipes, actually Glasscore. So now what you need to do is there are 73 companies here. We need to filter them even more. Okay, we need to filter them even more. So one filter that you can do here, you can add more. See, adjustments you have to do, right? If you want little less, I'll be like, I want the sales to be greater than say 500 crore. This is a very big filter. Okay, I want the sales to be greater than 500 crore. Let's see what happens. Now, if you do sales greater than 500 crore, 50 companies come into the picture. That means now you know, boss, 500 crores ke upar means good. It's slightly better than the other ones, right? Now you know that 50 companies have come. Now here what you can do is you can reduce either the debt to equity ratio or you can increase the sales growth of 3 years to maybe 15%. Okay, this will again reduce a lot of things, but I would not suggest doing this. See, it comes down to 32. That means these are companies that are growing at 15% year on year sales growth rate, right? And their previous year, last year sales above 500. Now you start looking at these companies individually. Now 32 companies ka aapko research karna hai, right? So this is what I do as well. So what I'll do, I'll open all of these companies. Okay, I'll just open all of these tabs like this and I start going through them one by one. See, our Borosil Renewable is here, Prince Pipes is here, Lux Industries is here, all good companies. Birla Soft is here, Kim's is here, Bayer Soft, Clean Science. These are all Varun Beverages. All of these are passing off as good companies. But I cannot invest in 32 companies. That is also doesn't make sense. So now you start finding little sector based thing, right? So by the way, when you find good stocks, there are two approaches to find good stocks. One is what I've done, which is go to a screener and put your filter out. That is one way to find good stocks. The second way is to understand which sector is doing well and then deep dive into the top winners of that sector. So there's two ways to do it. Like now we know what sectors are winning, so find winners of the sector, or you directly put stuff like this and find. Now directly go to max chart and see if this is not an anomaly play. What is an anomaly play? Suddenly upar jayega, right? Like this is suddenly gone up. That means let's see, is the sales consistent? No, the sales is not consistent. Now automatically I can see that the sales is not doing extremely well. It is a very seasonal play. So this is automatically out of my list. Even though it might be great, even though it maybe do very good, but my risk reward ratio, I'm gonna step one step back away from it, right? This is the company that came out with an IPO recently. Let's look at their results. Their results are going good. So I can keep this in my radar and keep this there. But the stock price is not moving well, right? Maybe it's not even like overvalued. So maybe this is an undervalued stock. Nobody's found out yet and it can do well. So you start going one by one into deep dive stocks. See, again, this is like an anomaly play where you'll see suddenly the sales are going up. Now this, again, see this, it was doing really well here and then very bad here and then again sales are going up. So this would make me do little more research about this company. I would actually go deep dive into it and see if they've done some capex expansion or not. So first screen is this, right? And you see all the good stocks. Now these are some risky plays. Now you might want to slightly remove the filter and say, you know what, Shashank, this 500 is too less. I feel I need at least 10,000. Okay, so let me do 10,000 here. Now you'll see only good companies coming out, right? Balaji Amines, Birla Soft, Kim's. Now you need to do your own research. Now this is one. Imagine you find one good thing that looks everything nice, right? That doesn't mean you make your decision. That's number one. Imagine I find Affle India very good. I'll click on it, right? I will go through all of this and I'll say, Shashank, beautiful company, Affle India. What do I do next? The next thing that you need to do is go to Value Picker and start looking at Affle India's history. Okay, if there is Affle India, great. If there is no Affle India, sad. Okay, but look at Affle India and start reading from 2019 itself. This is literally the history of the company that has been mapped out on Value Picker with everyone's idea. You'll understand corporate management, you'll understand everything. I do this, it takes time. That's how I come finally, and I know everything about the stock because I've been reading it from 2019. So you need to do all of this and read all of this, and then finally you'll realize ये stock अच्छा है कि बुरा है. It's not good or not bad. See, in a year I say you need to find 10 good stocks, and out of 10 good stocks you need to find 2 to 3 stocks that will give you 100% return, right? My last year's bets were Lotus Labs, Tata Elxsi, that did really well. Okay, that did really phenomenally well. Even Deepak Nitrite did really well. Okay, so you need to find now new things, right? This year I have a few stocks that I feel will give 100% return and I've already invested in them. So that is something you need to do. Now there are variations to this. This is one. Okay, what I'll do is I'll share this with you as well. I'll actually share it as a public screen so you guys can see it. This is variation 1. Okay, what you see right here. Now there is another variation if you want to do slightly more detailed. Okay, let me show you that as well. I'm going to paste this here. Okay, let me actually do screens, create new screen, and I'm going to paste this here now. Now look at this. This is basically saying again market cap greater than 500. So let me change this to 10,000 for you guys. Operating profit margin 15%. All of this is pretty much the same. But coming down here, okay, this again return on equity, it is not, I'll just change it here. Now look at this. Now what I'm saying is instead of sales growth last 3 years, I'm saying I want to see quarter on quarter sales growth. Now when a company is giving quarter on quarter beautiful sales growth, that means it's a good quarter, that means it's a growing quarter. So why should I wait for a year and tell whether the company is doing better or not? Let's try to go more deep inside and see if a company is doing better on the quarter basis. And if I click on that, you will see only 15 results are coming. And these are companies where 15 results, where quarter on quarter they're doing great, right? Now, which are these companies? Again, you will see some good companies and bad companies, and some of the companies we already know. So you'll see IEX, very good. You see Tata Elxsi, you see Mindtree, you see L&T Infotech, you see Angel One, you see this is my screener. This is what I use to find out good companies that are consistently growing one by one. But doesn't mean I'll invest in all of them. No. I do my own research, right? I will take this as a first step and then go deep into it with value picker in the second step. After I go deep into it in the value picker, I do step number 3. Step number 3 is I go to trend line. Okay. And once I go to trend line, I find a particular stock like say Tata Elxsi or Mindtree. Okay. Let's assume Mindtree for now. I'm just going to click on it, and now I'm going to start reading up about it. Is this overvalued? Is this undervalued? Let me look at this. This is a falling comet right now because it's in a massive downward journey, but the results have come well, so there's no problem with the results as well here. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to check if there are any research reports that I can start reading. Right, so let's read some research reports. See, so many research reports. In fact, there's one that's come out right now on 19th April, right, which says that the target price is 4885, which is a 36% upside. Why? Because Mindtree's result was good and it didn't go up because the sector itself is having an issue. So now I start reading all of this. I download the PDF and I start reading this. Now, if you want to find more companies, that you can do it here as well. So for example, there is something called as expensive performers, right? So let me show you something. If I do Lotus Labs is considered an expensive performer. Okay, so let me check if there are more expensive performers like this. So you'll see all of these companies are expensive performers here, right? These are one. Apart from that, there are some other screeners as well, right? You can, I should also look at some rising star. There are some rising star performers that also you should look at. So I look at all of this. So for example, if you look at Varun Bev is an expensive star, right? Expensive star means it's doing really well, but it's also now slightly higher on the PE ratio. So you find more expensive stars like this. You just click on this and you'll see Adani Green. Obviously, I mean, all the Adani stocks are here. Page Industries, Sheffer India. By the way, Sheffer India, see, a new stock that we have not heard of. But if you look at Sheffer India, it's doing really well. Why do I say that? Let me show you. Okay. Because I saw this coming in one of my screens. And I'll tell you why it's doing that, right? If you look at it from a technical standpoint, Sheffer India, let me just quickly show you how it is. Look at this. It's given a breakout. Even if I do a month-on-month basis, look at this. This is on a month-on-month thing. It has given a breakout and it's doing really well. Now, it's obviously overvalued a little bit because it just shot up too much. But see, you find these things out before well in advance and you do your own research on it. It's not like I'm going to come and tell you do this, do that. You have to do your own. NIIT, Green Panel Industries. This is something that we've again bought in our small case, right? This is also doing well and it's continuing to do well. So I try to find these stocks before it even comes out and people understand that it's going to go up. Varun Beverage was one such thing. Angel One was another such thing. So you can also do these things, try understanding these variations that I'm talking about. And obviously, eventually you have to do your own research, right? I'm not going to come and teach you all of that. I've already taught you how to do fundamental analysis. Now you need to do 3-step fundamental analysis. 1, look at the past history, look at the revenues. Great, you like it. Very good. Don't make a decision. Now go to value picker, read the entire history of that company. You will get more knowledge. Number 3, go to trendline and check out the research reports and read that. If there's con call, understand the con call reports as well. Then finally make a decision. Okay. Now, you understood this. This was basic, right? So this was 1 or 2 variations. I'll paste the variations in the description below as well. These are 1 or 2 variations that I use to find good stock. The second variation is more deep, right? It's to find out quarter on quarter growth rate, which is awesome. The first variation is a year on year growth rate, which is also good. So both of these screens are good. Now, what I'll do is I don't want to cramp everything in one video. In the next part or in the next video, I'm making another screener, very similar, but I'm going to tell you how I use that screener to find penny stocks now. Right, stocks that will do well like your RSCL and PIX and all those penny stocks, and we will try to figure out how to do analysis of penny stocks. Okay, so I hope this gave you a quick understanding of the way you can find good stocks, and you also need to find good stocks. Tell me also when you find, because stock market is such a beautiful game where it's not me making money, it's me and you together making money, right? And we win and others lose. That's what my logic is. Okay, so I hope you guys like this video, and if this video helped you guys, put it in the comment section some new stocks that you find that you feel are awesome, and we will all do a research together, because at the end of the day this community needs to win. Okay, this is me, Shashank Udupa, signing off. Take care. Bye guys. See you.